All right, we are back from the break. The party has just been taken through a cosmic storm. Where they are, they don't know. So I'm going to take you guys back to the Battle Dolphin for the moment. As you guys can take a look around your ship, figure out what's going on the ship, check out your crew members and stuff like that. One thing to keep in mind, I think, let's see, Ockar, you were up with the
I was with the prisoners.
prisoners, so let me move you over there. Leva and Lafdul, you were down in the
strong room, whatever
in the strong room.
I don't know.
That's down here on the lowest deck. Okay, so you guys pick yourselves back up. I guess Lenelius would be out on the deck too. Yeah, Braxon?
I just realised maybe our elven prisoner isn't an elf.
Yeah, well, Lafdul had
You don't
that
have an
conclusion
elven
as
prisoner.
well.
You don't have an elven prisoner. You mean
Sorry,
Lenelius?
I rescued elven prisoner.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
He's on the deck.
He was on the deck with you. You asked him about the cosmic storm initially, and so
and he
was
wasn't
not
doing the chanting.
Yeah, he was definitely not doing the chanting, unless of course he could do some kind of throw in his voice ventriloquism thing.
Yeah.
Solas does quick triage to try to save those that are savable.
Yeah, Lafdul's
try
doing the
that.
same as well. He'd be running out finding, where do you need me? Anyone need help?
Okay. Ockar,
Can.
Njord is unconscious and bleeding heavily.
I'm good. I'm going to try to bandage him up.
Okay.
Try to stop the bleeding.
All right.
You can also shout for help.
And I'm gonna start yelling for a medic.
Okay. You do manage to stop the bleeding and prevent him from dying. If you had left him as he was, he would have definitely died. He was low enough on hit points that that took him down
minus
below.
9?
Yeah.
Braxon's gonna.
Well, no, he wasn't at -9, but
We need to save those bandages and burn them.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it.
Braxon's gonna yell out for
terrible.
all uninjured crews. Check everyone nearby. Find anyone injured.
All right, so you've lost 3 human crew members. They're nowhere to be found on your ship.
They are paste.
You don't know. You're busy looking at your crew and ship. There's a lot of broken bones amongst all of the crew, including the GIF and the dwarves. Some of it is stuff that you can just like splint and it'll be okay. You know, broken fingers, stuff like that. But some of them have broken arms and things like that. So you'll need to keep that in mind. For at least the next few days, anyone who can probably needs to take the repair injury spell.
Yeah, we can do. I can take a lot of healing spells, providing we're in a situation where we can rest.
Yeah, you're not going to need specific healing spells besides that for the crew. They'll recover on their own. But if you want to heal up your own people, then there you go.
No, but if I was...
Other people injured close to dying except Njord?
There are, but you're able to take care of them.
Yeah, we want the bandages.
We make mental notes about the bandages.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, it's fine for me.
I know. I'm just
lawful good.
You made the ink ingredient be that.
I know. It's just I find it hilarious.
With alignment shift involuntarily.
I find it hilarious. Lenelius is in bad shape. He definitely.
He's another broken foot.
He's like worse than he was before. No more broken bones though. Just took a nasty gash.
Can Braxon help him?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can get people to their quarters and stuff like that. Those who are injured and have broken bones.
It's here and all there, but he's a spellcaster, isn't he? An arcane spellcaster.
He
He
is
just doesn't have a spell book.
right. He doesn't have a spell book.
Can one of the casters lend him a spell book at least for a couple of days?
Nope.
Oh.
He's gonna
That's it,
need a
works
new
that
one.
way.
Or we need to figure out if one of those books that we have is his.
No, we've
Yeah,
already
that's
checked
why
You
I
already
wanted to
asked
look at
him.
objects. But...
You already asked
that.
him
We've
about
already
that.
asked that.
There was an idea that it may have been in the Orax belt.
Yeah, that's why I'm holding on to the
pouch.
belt. I mean, if we come across Limited Wish, we'll sell it.
So at this
Put it
point,
back
like,
together.
he needs a new spell book, and he'll need to. I mean, he still knows his spells. So
Can you
if
scrolls?
well, if like let's say he has Magic Missile, he just needs to look at one of your spell books to recreate it in his book, kind of thing. He doesn't. It wouldn't require another learn roll or something like that. He just needs to copy it, but he needs a new book, and he doesn't have that right now.
Can we make him a new book?
Yeah.
It
A lot
takes
of
Solas
us to
of...
sell him a book.
Weren't you supposed to make Labra a book?
Sell him.
All right. So for now, you've checked over your crew. You're missing 3 humans. You don't know where they are. You definitely saw 2 go over the edge.
Before we went in, or during?
Like
when we
during
went
the
Has
the trip.
Braxon lost his spyglass?
No.
Right. Can he look? You said we nearly hit a rock face, and then in the break you revealed that it wasn't this big Zardos face that I thought it was.
No. Rock face is in, like, you know, what you saw talk about a mountain kind of thing.
in? Yeah, but it's
a
so
surface.
hard to confuse
no,
in
that's-
Spelljammer specifically.
That's cool. Okay, so basically we've nearly hit an asteroid that was at the center of that storm.
You're
because
out
it's
of the storm now. You're someplace else. It is dark. Like, you can see this this rocky surface stretching away, not perfectly flat, but you know, there's boulders there. There's other things.
Okay.
Rises, dips, that kind of thing, stretching away basically in all directions.
Right. Oh, right. So it's not just an asteroid. It's like goes on.
Well,
forever sort of
it
thing.
might be an asteroid, but it's big and it's very dark where you are. You see no sun, you see no stars right now.
Okay, Braxon. I'm so convinced we've got the rogue enough. Braxon is
So
going
am I.
to.
You're not right.
Braxon's gonna. Yeah, you would deny it.
No, I wouldn't.
Braxon's gonna look around where the ship was that's crashed,
Okay.
and he's looking to see if any of our crew have fallen down and landed on the ground.
Okay.
Or even their crew.
So
Or
you're
their crew,
you're
but he's more
probably
interested in-
you're probably about 200 feet off the surface at this point. Nemariel really did stop you just in time to not cause
Yeah.
your ship to just smash
You
against this
said
thing.
100 feet.
You were
You don't
guesstimating. It turns out it was actually 200 feet. It's
He probably
200,
deserves a
200
raise
to
after-
100 feet. It's like, you're not getting out the tape measure and saying, "Oh, exactly. Let's see how far we are away."
The space measure.
It's 100 to
we
200
can
feet.
lower. We can lower a rope with knots over the side.
You don't need to. So,
but-
yes, you can see smashed wood beneath you. Give me a carpentry check, please.
Carpentry check. I'm going to roll the carpentry check, and you're going to go, "Yep, that's broken." Right, let's have a look. 16. And what's my score?
So 14, isn't it? Because of your intellect.
Sorry,
Your
you saying I've got a
intelligence-
2-point penalty on my intelligence?
No, I know your intelligence is 14, so... And I know it's an intelligence-based one, isn't it? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
Carpentry, I've got 16. No adjustments.
Okay.
I was
So
wrong.
it's bang on the nose.
All right. That's good. The debris beneath you is not red. You are not seeing giant metal blade things. In fact, it looks like an eel. Not painted green. It's more of
An eel
a
chip.
painted blue. Yeah, it's the remains of it. It is completely destroyed.
Hang on, is that the eel ship? that
No,
we
different
just
color. Different color. You can see
Right.
you can see exterior paint. It's a different color. Definitely not the same thing.
right?
Um,
Brax's
but this is a
Brax's
new wreck.
yeah. Braxon's going to yell out, "That's not the Mantis ship. It's an eel ship." Lookouts, keep an eye out for that Mantis ship.
And you can
I
see
think we
some
should-
you can see some bodies down there too.
I think we
Yeah.
should use the spy glass to keep an eye out.
I will look after. Well, I guess I'd go over to Rednall considering how badly damaged he is. And then free up Ockar to go look for other survivors because you can fly around.
Yeah. Well, we've got bodies below us.
Yeah, well, Ockar can fly if I take care of Rednall, so he doesn't die.
True.
Solas is going to be focusing mostly on keeping those treating crew members and having more healthy crew members escort them to their quarters to rest.
Braxton's going to call down the speaking tube. Are we being pulled to the surface of that thing?
Nemariel responds back, "No, I've stabilized our position, thankfully, before we hit."
Thank you. It's an eel ship on the surface, from what I can see. Can you see any other ships with your spelljamming sight?
No, but I'll let you know if I do.
Thank you. Before he cuts off, he says, "Just to let you know, we lost sight of the ship with his arms, the Mantis-like ship, whatever it was. I can't remember if it was more like a Zixchiel or a Zixchiel chip. Are we going to call it a Zixchiel chip?
You can call it a mantis
That's the
ship.
one.
You can call it a mantis
call it
ship
a
because
mantis
it
ship.
looked like a mantis.
Okay.
Zixchiel look more like mantises than a Thri-kreen do.
Yeah.
All right, so you spend some time getting everyone, the most seriously injured crew looked at, stabilized, getting those who need bed rest into their bunks, that sort of thing.
How much of my healer's kit would I have used? I assume I would have used something.
You've probably used all of it.
Oh, okay.
I think
Can
those
we
of
get-
you with those sorts of things would probably use all or nearly all treating
Yeah.
people.
How much do we actually would we
back.
spellcasters know about the spell summon cosmic storm?
You've never heard of it before.
So we don't know anything.
Nope.
Okay, pity. Because Leva is wondering where the spellcast is. She's still walking around in the ship.
Yeah. We need to find that person and get rid of them. We also might have some survivors down on that rocky body below us.
So, thinking back on it, you were pretty sure that they were outside of the ship, like either on a deck or standing on a surface or in the air or something like that, because those of you who went inside when you first heard it, it did get a little bit more muffled.
Right.
But I mean, Leva, you know yourself that it could have teleported away or something like that. You know, you have that you have access to teleport yourself, so.
That's true. But that's why I asked what we actually know about the spell itself. Would the spellcraft check tell us anything?
You can go ahead and roll a spellcraft. There's going to be a penalty to this because you're not doing it. It's more of a reflection thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Roll 20 changed something. But the macros don't work anymore.
I mean, just
Just-
roll a d20 and compare it to your number.
Okay.
No, you can't. You can't recall anything about it. Like you can't really draw any conclusions other than what you yourself as a player care to draw.
Okay.
All right, so you've gotten all of your crew squared away. You do have enough crew to to fly the ship. You will definitely need to use Gif and dwarves to man weapons, though.
Yeah. Right. I think we need to send a small party down to the land below us and see if there's any survivors. Might be some of our crew.
You can take the ship down a little bit and like drop a
Yeah. Drop a rope.
yeah.
Braxon will ask Numeria if you can carefully get down low so we can see if there's any survivors.
Will do. As
Would
a
Braxon be able
note,
to rescue
as a
the
note,
clothing?
hold on.
Sorry.
She responds. She also lets you know. As a note, we are in an air envelope. This thing has an
Ah.
atmosphere.
Right. Interesting. So
All right.
we're on some sort of asteroid.
So she brings the ship in closer, and you can drop a rope down.
Yeah.
All right. Who is choosing to go down to check this out?
Am I going to do a James T. Kirk or are we going to do a Picard and send down someone else?
You can
I think
definitely
I'll-
go down yourself. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I'll go down.
Then I'll go.
Okay.
Solas is focusing on still focusing on treating people.
Yeah, Lafdul might be too.
Leva would in that case come with you, because she's looking. She wants to know where the caster is, whether it's he or she is still around, whether he is. How this worked.
Okay.
Is Ockar coming or staying?
Coming.
Ockar. I guess he'll be staying then. All right. So
Yeah.
the three of
Okay,
you could
Ockar's in charge
probably
of the ship
get some dwarves to come down with you as well as just like backup.
Yeah.
They're injured, but they're not like broken bones kind of thing. None of the dwarves really broke bones. They're pretty solid.
Right.
But you so you get down and start combing through the wreckage. It's definitely the remains of an eel ship. Looking at the wood, the ship is old. The wreck is new.
Right. We're going
Um,
to focus on looking at the bodies first.
you find 4 bodies. They are orcish in appearance.
Wow.
One of them was clearly like you locate the spot that you're pretty sure was the bridge because there's 2 broken glass domes
Yeah.
in the wreckage around it, and you find one in a broken chair, like still like there's the pieces of a broken chair around it. But this chair has straps on the arms and around the neck, and this orc clearly broke his neck from the neck strap.
Right. And that's like a helm where he's tied into it for some reason. Maybe.
It's a reasonable guess. There are actually no heavy weapons, no remains of heavy weapons.
Right. Let's go see if we can find any logbooks or something if these are all dead. And there's none of our crew here.
You can have the dwarves scour around outside
Yeah.
of the actual wreckage.
Other
Ockar?
than the asteroid, are there any like particular like celestial bodies around us that could give us idea where we are?
Not that you can see right now.
It's quite dark for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's dark. I think we'll have to fly away from this place, and if we get the atmosphere, we might see things, or we might be back in that storm again. Yeah, Braxon's going to tell the dwarves to sweep around
Okay.
and see if they can see any of our crew that went overboard.
They do find one human body.
Is it one of ours?
Hard to say.
Leftover
It's hard to make anything out of a body that hits it as fast as that clearly did.
Okay.
It's human. That's about the best that you can say. You think
How fresh it is.
based on the equipment, yeah, it was probably one of yours.
Right. Well, if we got a chance, we'll take him back, give him a burial in space or something.
You could do a cairn right here. There's enough loose rock around that you could put a cairn over his body.
Okay.
One interesting thing is that there's a lot of mushrooms around here too. A lot of fungus. Some of them are pretty big, about waist high. Not like dense forests of it, but
Okay.
There's a fair bit of fungus all around you.
Yeah.
Does Finn notice anything out of the ordinary amongst it?
The specifics of them are unrecognized. You don't recognize them, but they're similar to things that you've seen, but oftentimes a lot bigger. You've probably seen them in caves before.
It's even with my granted power.
I mean, that'll let you, because that's you're recognizing it as similar to things that you've seen before, and that is through the granted power. In that, you'd be able to say, "Oh yeah, you don't want to touch that one. That's going to kill you." This one over here, yeah, you might be able to eat it. It's going to be tasteless, but you could eat it. That one over there, yeah, that would make some good food, kind of thing.
What color is the asteroid?
Grayish brown.
Okay, Braxon.
Looking through the wreckage some more, you do not find a logbook. You do not find much. You find some broken barrels that are wet, had water. Some smashed sacks that had some sort of grain and stuff like that. But in terms of the amount, not very much. I mean, you've only found 4 orcish bodies here.
Yeah, Braxon was going to look for the logbooks. Any charts?
Not that you found.
Any sort of navigation instruments?
Not that you found either.
I
mean, it is this is scattered all over the place and in a pretty big area. It is possible that you are missing some things, but the smaller something is, the harder it's going to be to find it.
How did the amount of bodies we got compare with the crew that an eel ship would need?
That matches the bare minimum.
Right. Okay, I don't think we're going to find any of our survivors. And it looks like there's nothing on here for us to learn. So I think maybe we're going to want to go back to our ship and try to get out the atmosphere of this thing and see if we're inside the middle of that storm or not.
So you're not, up above your ship. It's just, blackness. You're not seeing, the gray cloudiness of the storm.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that is, the edge of the ship's air, the edge of the asteroid's air envelope might be some sort of barrier to light or something.
Gotcha. All right.
So I don't know. So Braxton's thinking now is, we've come down in case any of our survivors were here. They're not. We've learned, I think, all we can learn from this wreck ship.
Okay.
It's probably best to get out of the atmosphere and see if we're where we used to be.
Okay.
See if we can get back to those elven super weapons.
All right. So you get back on deck. You find Glau kind of perched on the railing. One of his wings is injured, so he can't fly at this point. But he says, what did you see down there?
There was a crashed eel ship. Couldn't find a logbook. Couldn't find any charts. I don't know if anyone got off. The crew were orcs, more like this orc that we saw before. Was there any sort of uniforms on those orcs?
If there is, you don't recognize it. They did have pretty uniform equipment, but you wouldn't say that it was a uniform.
Right, so they're just individually dressed. Right.
They're wearing the same armor and using the same weapons. Like, you would say it as likely from the same batch, the same manufacturer kind of thing. But they're not wearing like a uniform. Like, the elves tend to have uniforms that can often vary from sphere to sphere, but they have uniforms. And like Brawl's military, they have uniforms and stuff like that. If these guys have a uniform, it's not something that you're familiar with.
Right.
You've seen before. It's not something that you recognize as a uniform.
Yeah, okay.
But they're clearly equipped the same way.
All right. Braxon says to Glau, do you know anything about those storms that we got sucked into?
Oh, no. Other than the rumors and stories, I would say that the rumors of them sending those that they've sucked up somewhere else seem to be true, though. Wouldn't you say?
I don't know if we're inside the thing still, or if we've been sent somewhere else. But I'm thinking that we're going to need to go up to get out of the atmosphere and see if we get back to normal space. And we'll probably have to kind of prepare in case we get battered around. So we might need to lash people down or do some stuff like that.
Good idea. We should
How
check
about you?
the astrolabe too.
Yes, that's a brilliant idea.
Alright. Do you want to check the astrolabe first, or do you want to wait until you get out of the atmosphere?
Braxton to check the astrolabe now.
Okay. So you go in there, cover the light, and it shows nothing. Like, there's no. It's just you're just in a blank room. Glau says, that is strange. I've never seen a sphere like this before.
So it's all completely black?
Yep. As in, it's not registering any worlds at all.
Yeah. So maybe we've been sucked in some sort of pocket dimension or something.
Everything here also might be smaller than the astrolabe can register.
Braxton's gonna call in the other officers that aren't busy.
Sort of, yeah. I have to take care of something.
All of the crew are taken care of. They'll need to be checked on, but like, anyone who cares to can go and meet with Braxon.
Yeah, Solas goes if all the crew have been treated.
If we're stabilized, then I'll go.
Braxton's
gonna die.
Braxton's gonna say we didn't find any survivors down on the planet. There were orcs down there with a crashed ship. Looking at this, we appear to be in some sort of pocket dimension or something else. Does anyone have any theories?
Aren't bags of holding meant to self-implode when they go into another dimension like this?
You do know that taking extra-dimensional objects into extra-dimensional space is a bad thing.
I check my pouch gingerly.
Your pouch seems fine.
Hmm.
We
We
might
must be in
in
normal
a-
space.
We might be in a place where all the bodies, celestial bodies, are so small that the asteroid just can't register them.
Right. Well,
How
if we're-
how old are the corpses or whatever you remind? So are they fresh or?
Yeah, they were all fresh. They still had blood oozing out of
Any
the
of them
wounds and stuff like that.
salvageable?
I mean, define salvageable.
Alive.
alive.
Questionable.
No, they were all
To be
dead.
questioned.
They were absolutely dead.
Alright, it's probably worth grabbing a few corpses. Parts of corpses that have been detached so I can ask them questions. You know, Lafdul's got a living repository of dead parts. So, what was your name? What did you do? What does this do? Next. Goes into the next goal.
Well, we've come up now. Is it too late to go down to say
If it's
that
too late, it's too
we've
late.
done
it's
that?
fine.
I mean, you
I
can
had-
always go back down again.
No, I've got those other corpses of pirates to go through, so.
I mean, there is something very unsettling about just having stacks of corpses that you just want to question. That
It's
you're
more
gonna get a
because of-
reputation amongst the crew, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other spellcasters who can do this. It isn't just me. Finn and Solas both have access to the spell.
Yeah, but you enjoy it more than anyone else.
I do it because it's useful to know this thing.
Having
I
access to the
think-
spell doesn't mean that I like to use it.
I think next time we go, you come with us and you just come back with a bunch of fingers in a bag of holding or
No,
something.
it's fine. We'll never know who attacked us or why.
Well, they weren't the ones that attacked us.
How do you know that?
It's
Yeah, 'cause
eel ship,
it's an eel
not,
ship.
not mantis ship.
Not a mantis ship. This is a different ship.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought this was the mantis ship. I wasn't
No.
here, so.
No, but it was also orcs.
Oh,
So, I don't know who was on the mantis ship because I don't think Braxon got to see the crew. He was looking through the spyglass, but I don't think he'd have got a chance when we got sucked in. He'd have been holding on.
Yeah. I mean, like once combat really started, you know, the weapons are coming your way and stuff like that. You don't really have time to stand there, spyglass to eye, studying the other ship. So
Yeah. Okay, I guess we try to fly out of the atmosphere of this celestial body to see whether the blackness is an effect of the celestial body itself.
Is the storm finished? Can we be certain that it is gone?
Well, I don't know that we're not inside the storm.
well,
maybe
they say
this-
it's calm inside the storm, don't they?
Yeah, I was wondering if this was the center of the storm. But if it is, we've got to get out. So
Well, not if we're in no immediate danger.
well,
we've
but the
got
eye
both.
of the storm moves too. If you're
Mm.
following that analogy,
we've got those elven super weapons we were pulling along, and unless we have something down here that we really need to do, we need to make an attempt to get back to them to see if we can recover them.
If we
Do we
can't,
have
then
any way of figuring out how long this has lasted?
look at the time thing.
you
We got
were
sundown.
you were in the the storm for a matter of minutes. It felt like a lot longer in that, like, you know, in that way that being in a terrible situation feels like time is slowing down. But you don't think time actually slowed down. That said, there are rumors that these things can deposit you somewhen else in space. So,
Somewhere else.
yeah.
Someone
good.
know the no time. Well,
We might be in the future or the past.
Well, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
At least
I think-
check the sundial that gives accurate time.
That's the point.
hey,
The sundial is matching what you'd expect for a matter of minutes in that to pass. More time to, you know, probably an hour, hour and a half of checking your crew, getting down, checking the wreckage, that kind of thing. And Lafdul had a question for Finn. Sorry.
Finn has indicated several times he has access to a sphere that we don't, right? And it's right to ask questions about that sphere, not specifically the spells, but the sphere itself.
I mean, you can ask as a player too.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, do you have such magic too that would tell you what date it is?
I believe I have no time.
Obviously, I mean, that might help to know if we've fallen through time. I mean, then we can compare it to our ship's log, assuming we have a ship's log and dates. Someone would have kept a date, I assume.
I'd have to go look to
Well,
see how no time actually works in this. Like,
No, it does at current hour, day, month, year. It's the nearest minute.
Does it do it by the calendar of the sphere you're in, or
Oh,
yeah,
Mm.
that's the thing that I'd need to think about. Would it be relative to you? Would, you know, that kind of thing.
compare it to the notes. So.
If you cast that, I'll look it up, but it's up to you.
Has anyone got any reason why we shouldn't take off and try and fly out the atmosphere of this celestial body?
Just make sure prisoners are, well, people that are close to death are less close to death.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to tie people down and stuff like that.
Okay. There is a very slight breeze moving through the air envelope of whatever celestial body you're on. Not like
Is the air fresh?
yes, yes. It smells odd, kind of musty, but not like stale. It's definitely fresh air, breathable air. It's not fouled. It's not deadly. But
It's air that's just been left.
well, it's musty.
Yeah,
You know, and that might be because of the
corpses.
well, no. Wherever you are is much too big for those corpses to make any real difference. But there's a lot of mushrooms down there, and that might have something to do with it. All right. So you secure the ship and begin to head straight up. Yep.
Wait,
Mhm.
we grab something in case we need to return to this place later on. We might have found some. We just find like a piece of that ship or something. Could we not grab something that we can use in the
I mean, if you're going to go back down, you might as well grab some part of a corpse, too.
Is this a good idea or not?
Yeah.
As the party.
Mm.
We can always find our place back to this place.
well, it's at least it gives us a point of reference.
Will it lead us back to the ship though?
Did you try looking for salvageable like helms and stuff?
Well, we did a search. I think Ald would have told us there was a helm. There was a guy on a chair that was he had his neck broken.
And the chair
I
was
think that was
smashed
some
up.
sort of helm.
Alright.
Yeah.
Basically, it was if it was the helm, it was the guy was strapped into it, and
Yeah, I'm wondering if that was some sort of helm, like a life jammer or a death helm, if it was tied in.
Mm.
I wouldn't think you'd
He
normally.
wasn't an orc then.
He was
No, he
an
was.
orc.
He was.
Oh.
All four of them were orcs.
but I wouldn't have thought you would normally tie someone's neck on a helm. So if you've got straps, that they should be to stop people being thrown out the helm and injured.
Well,
I mean, if you got a noose around the neck, could stop someone from casting a spell if they were a magic user.
Right. Did we see anything interesting while we were down there, like objects?
Nothing particularly interesting, just debris from the ship.
Right. So nothing that Braxon would have been interested in.
Probably
Oh
not,
no,
but that's up to
device
you.
only tracks living members.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're all dead. So I don't think we can track back to them.
Yeah, well.
Nice idea, but if you have something
Yeah.
to track an object,
Yeah. We
Okay.
can always leave Leather here. If we can track Leather, the Leather can always teleport if she gets too bored.
Wow, so mean. All right, so you begin
I
to head up, or do you want to actually get
Yeah.
a piece?
Any
Lafdul,
nameplate?
are you going to voice that so she can hear you?
No. He's just thinking out loud.
he's too scared to actually say his thoughts.
That seems more like a player joke than a character joke, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right,
Yeah.
so you begin heading upwards, straight upwards.
Yeah.
and-
Before we do it, we're going to take precautions. We're
Yep.
going to assume that we're going through that storm.
Okay.
If we've got badly injured people, is there anything we can do with hammocks to like surround people by hammocks so that if they get thrown around, they don't get injured?
You
Does
can
anyone
do the best you can. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember if I used my idea? Because I have it unchecked. I'm pretty sure I did use it, didn't
I think so.
I? Yeah. Before we left, I would have used it because that was the whole point of taking it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took it. Used it. I mean, never mind.
The prisoners, they're awake, aren't they? Or are they all
No,
asleep?
not Red Nord.
Njord is unconscious. Sard
Yeah.
and Silithia, they did not succumb to that tea.
Okay.
You can
So
try
Lera
again at
goes-
the next meal, though.
Oh,
No, Lera wants to know something.
All right.
She wants to know whether they recognize the voice, whether they heard it, and if they heard it, then did they recognize the chanting voice?
You can try. I don't think they'll tell you anything.
Well, I
Alright.
don't know.
But
Sard,
Worst they can do
Sard
is
would,
look at me and shake
Sard,
their head.
Sard
and
would
say no.
indicate that he just kind of shrugged. Like, I mean, they're below decks. It was muffled.
Mm,
They weren't exactly paying attention. Also, why would they
Yeah.
help you, kind of thing. So,
yeah, well, ESP is still going on.
yeah.
Well, no, not again, not still. It's going on. It's the second one.
You don't pick up that he really recognized it.
Okay.
I mean, keep in mind that also while that was going on, you had crew shouting to each other, you know, player characters giving orders, Braxon as captain giving orders, you know, that kind of thing. So there's a lot going on. They were below decks, so
Okay.
Yeah, I think Braxon was yelling out when the chanting was going on. Find whoever that is chanting.
that too, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, if you know someone and you hear him singing chant outside, then you say, "Oh, that's Pete. I recognize him."
Not always.
If you charmed them, they might tell you. But if they're prisoners,
Mm.
they might not tell you.
Basically, all the stuff between them and the chanter made it so that the voice was so distorted.
I think that chanter brought the storm because no one saw the storm prior to the chanting, right?
Nope. It was only after it stopped that a crew member shouted out that they spotted
So
it.
it summoned. By the
That
sounds
would be
of it.
reasonable guess.
Hmm.
But I think we still should have people trying to find the chanter.
Okay. So you're heading straight up through the atmosphere. As you were doing so, your eyes are adjusting a little bit better to the darkness, and you can see some very, very faint pinpricks of light out there. Like, if they're stars, they're extremely dim. You finally do get outside of the atmosphere, and you spot another ship. It's not red, it's actually brown. And it is coming towards you, but it is signaling with a light. It's a little bit too far away to make out much, and especially with the signal light coming in.
What does the signal say?
Braxon, you do not recognize exactly what they're signaling.
Okay. So you can't see the pattern.
I mean, you can see the pattern. It just doesn't make sense to you.
Right. What about our crewman that does signaling? Is he alive?
Yeah, he's alive and he's available.
I'll get him to give us a second opinion.
He doesn't recognize it either.
Okay. We'll send them a message.
Okay, what are you sending?
This is the blade out of Kislev. Sorry. It's the blade out of Kislev. It's going to take me a long time. Do you understand us?
You get a different pattern back, but it's still not one that you recognize, and not one that your crew member recognizes either.
Right. And what does this ship look like again that we're seeing?
It's brown. It looks a little wedge-shaped, pretty wide. It's hard to make out anything else at this distance. It's coming towards you, but not quickly, and it is signaling. You just don't know what they're trying to tell you, what they're trying to say to you.
Right. Okay, let's give them a slight wide berth, but go towards them. We'll try sending different messages.
You do know some universal signals that are not like words, that, you know, signals for distress, signals for like acknowledged your message, we're done here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to try some of those?
To send a distress signal.
Let's try some of those.
What do you specifically want to do? Distress? Like, you also know of one, you know, there's a simple one for plague ship, but obviously you're not a plague ship, but that would definitely get someone to give you a wide berth if they acknowledge it, that kind of thing. Of course, all of this hinges on them knowing these supposedly universal quick signals.
Yeah, is there a universal signal which is like, hello, can you understand this?
Not really.
Is there one for wanting to dock or anything?
That kind of is assumed in, you know, we're in distress, in need of aid.
I think
Signal.
we're pretty much in need of aid. We're in unknown territory.
Right. Let's send an in need of aid signal and see if they acknowledge that.
Okay. You do get the universal acknowledgement signal back. They stop signaling, but they are coming closer.
Yeah.
Would you use your spyglass?
Yeah, let's use a spyglass. See
Okay.
what they look like.
Would you go up to the uppermost deck? You'd have a slightly better angle on them.
I would if I couldn't see them from downstairs.
I mean, you could see them, but it's a bit more head-on as opposed to looking down on them. Because remember, your top deck is pretty high up in comparison.
Yeah, let's pop up to the
They would be able to see you as well.
pop up to the blade.
Okay. It's kind of a wedge-shaped vessel. The wide part looks like either a pair of wings or axe blades, like as if it was a double-headed axe. Give me a carpentry check.
Yeah. I'm guessing that I've never seen one of these in my life.
Ah, you would have read about it. It's like 500 years ago.
You have heard about these. They're not terribly common anymore. They're apparently vessels created by kobolds. You haven't seen one personally, but you have heard that they get some use by other races like gnomes and dwarves, goblins, that sort of thing. Smaller races because they are kind of built for smaller statured creatures. So just seeing one isn't the kind of thing of like, like a Neogi vessel or, get the guns ready kind of thing.
Is this one of those ships that was more common before the Unhuman War?
Yes, definitely.
Right.
Those that
basically,
still exist tend to be ones that have been co-opted by other races at this point.
Yeah. So Braxon will tell the others what it is. Does it have a name? Is it called a axe ship?
The name you've heard is Angel Ship.
Angel ship. Oh, an angel ship. Right. Yeah. Braxton says, I think this is called an angel ship. And they used to be common, and I think they were made by kobolds back in the day. And then after the Unhuman War, the elves kind of stopped the people that were making these. So this is probably very old.
So you've gotten out of the atmosphere beneath you at this point, and it closes in.
Do
as
they look
it's
like
closed
kobolds?
in? Yeah. It's manned by kobolds. The weapons are not loaded.
Right.
And it closes in. Are you just letting it come to you and breach your air envelope?
Yeah, if they're not got loaded weapons, let's go
Okay.
down and talk to them. Braxton will come back down and talk
All right.
to them.
So your air envelopes touch, and as they do, you can hear multiple voices from them, but only one actually shouts out to you. That sounds a lot like yapping dogs. But the one that shouts out to you does so in a language that I don't think any of you know.
We
Okay.
found some kobolds.
I don't think any of you know Kobold, correct?
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Okay.
Can you understand us and speak this language, or potentially like Dwarven or something?
So you shout back to them in
Lafdul.
common?
Yeah.
Lafdul's grabbing leather, and Solas takes some underground sight. Don't look like an elf.
All right.
Hide yourself.
Why?
I don't know. It might be better for diplomatic relations.
All right. We'll push Braxon to the front.
Yeah. Braxton's going to yell out, does anyone speak common?
Not common. I said, do you speak? Would there be a name for like what common would be to us for like another species?
You would probably just say the common human tongue or something like that.
Do you speak the common human tongue or Dwarven or something? We can't understand
Undercommon.
you.
Leather might be able to speak, but I've taken
They,
underground.
the one that's shouting towards you, starts shouting in another language,
Uh-huh.
You've heard it before, but I don't believe any of you speak it. It's Goblin this time.
Oh, look, Kigamus isn't around.
No.
No, we can't understand that either.
Alright. Then the one that's shouting switches to another language. Leva, you can understand this one.
Oh, what is it?
It's basically the Illithid trade tongue.
Oh, good
Okay.
God.
So Leva can talk to them?
Yep. But you'd have to
Yeah,
go back up on deck.
I
Did
just
anybody-
try to quickly I've given her my hat and disguise. I'll say, just make yourself look like a human.
All right,
Or
she does
limited.
that.
Okay.
Lemon, do you think you can talk to them?
For a
Yes, I
human-looking
understand.
lover.
I understand what they're talking about too. What they're talking, the language they're speaking. So let's go. Let's do this.
All right. So it is changed to a another language, and the it's saying we couldn't understand your first signal. Are you in need of assistance? We saw your ship. It seems to be
Yes.
damaged.
Yes, it is. We got into a storm, and this is where it set us down. Also, Leva translates between between the two sides. So she translates the question and she translates what she just said. Braxon, do you
Yes.
have anything to say in addition?
You could. Go on.
Solas mentions before you ask Braxon that ask them what sphere this is.
Leva asked him, what sphere is this?
So they're close enough that you can see the one who has been shouting to you. It's definitely a kobold. It is. You think it's a male. And it's wearing nicer armor than the others. Most of the other kobolds are wearing like leather armor, have spears, short bows, and stuff like that. And this one actually has a sword, a short sword. And he's wearing a hat that you'd guess is kind of maybe an imitation of a very old-timey human captain hat, but heavily modified and different. So it's but you can easily make the assumption that this is the captain of the vessel that you're speaking to. And he calls back, a storm? You mean a cosmic storm? Haven't
Yes.
seen too many of those. Heard of some people being spat out by one some months back. You're in Cathan space.
Oh, no idea what this is. If the Leva passes this on to the others. Have we ever heard of this?
None of you have heard of a
Cathan
sphere
space?
by that name.
Tell them that we were in Kryn space and got stranded here.
Yes, Leva tells them that we were in cream space and the storm deposited us here.
Cryon space? Never heard of it.
Cream space.
That doesn't sound familiar.
So
Do they-
Leva passes this on to the others. They don't know anything about cream space.
Do they know about brawl space or realm space?
So she sort of goes through the different spheres.
The spheres that you know
Space.
that you yeah.
Yeah.
He has never heard of any of them.
No, all of them are unknowns.
You think we could ask if we could take a look at their chart of spheres so we can try to figure out where we are in comparison to where we used to be?
Well, Leva turns around to Finn and says, Finn, with your time thing, does it help if they tell you what year, etc. we are at here?
They're gonna you know that they're gonna use a local time.
Yes. That's why I'm asking Finn, would he be able to translate that into something we can we understand, like our own time system.
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe I could use it to verify the result of what I get when I cast it.
All right. So Leva turns around to them and says, "What year is this? We have no idea where we are and when we are. Can you tell us a bit more? And one of the things, what year is this?"
Yes, it is. Well, I don't know if it would mean much to you, but it is the 7th year of Gorlgak's reign.
The 7th year of Gorlgak's reign. Well, Leva passes this on to Finn.
Meanwhile, while this is going on, I'm gonna look for our owl guy. I need to ask him if he's ever heard of the sphere.
All right. Yeah, Glau. He probably would have come out on deck when he heard that there was another ship coming in, but he'd been, quiet unless you asked him something specific.
Hey, Glau.
Yeah,
have you
Leva
ever
would
heard?
definitely.
Yeah, go ahead, Ockar.
Definitely...
Glau, have you ever heard of the sphere that we're apparently in?
No, I have not.
That's not good.
Leva turns around to him and says, "Would you have an idea what we could ask to pinpoint our location and time a bit better?"
Best bet would be find a port. I'm sure this one would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we find a port, we can find out what crystal spheres are in the area of this sphere and see if we know any of those.
That's probably our best bet.
So Leva, sorry.
No, cool.
Leva turns around to them and says, "Where do you think could we find the nearest port? And what type of money do you use?"
The nearest port would be Port Karthok. You can follow those lights up there, go between them. He kind of gives you enough information that you think that you can get there from that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Indicating they're very, very faint lights that you didn't see initially, but as your eyes kind of adjusted to the darkness in this place, you could start to see them. And he says, we use many different coinage. There's coins made by us kobolds. Hobgoblins have their own. Goblins have their own, all made of gold. Those are pretty common. But we'll take trade goods and other things. We ourselves are on a trading mission. We saw your vessel in a place that is unusual to see vessels, so we thought we'd stop by and see if you needed anything.
Okay.
Braxon says there's a crashed orc ship on the world below. We couldn't find any survivors.
Oh.
Don't know. Check it out afterwards.
I think we may check that out. We haven't seen any orcs in quite a while. I'm assuming that, Leva, you just translated that for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ask them more details about this sphere if they could. They mentioned kobolds and hobgoblins. Goblins.
And what would you like to know?
I would like to know if there's any other people in the sphere.
If they speak the illicit trade tongue, then I would say illicits are around. But Leva asked them, what are the most common people around here?
Well, it really depends on where you go. Some tunnels have more dangerous creatures than others. You can generally find us kobolds, the goblins and the hobgoblins trading throughout. But there's many places that you would want to avoid. If you're looking for other common traders. There are also illithid traders and some Darrow and some Fomorians. But I'd advise avoiding the Fomorians if you decide to go visit them.
Okay. Any other questions?
Who controls the port? What was the name of that port that they recommended?
Karthok.
Arthok.
They would tell you that is a kobold port, and it is the closest one.
I guess it's our best shot to figuring out anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's one question Leo asked. That is, in our crew we have a few elves. Would they be in any difficulties?
You're asking him outright about elves?
You'll have to indicate that.
Yeah, she's asking this in she'd be asking this in a language that you can't understand.
Yeah.
So I just want to verify. Is that what you're asking, Lev? I mean, you know that the goblinoids don't like elves, and Lafdul wanted you to disguise yourself.
Yeah, no, okay, now she doesn't ask.
Well, you could ask it, but you don't have to say we have elves.
Yeah, but then the question comes up: why would I ask if we don't have any elves? If we don't.
Well,
I think it's best to thank them for their help and just continue on our way. Following their directions.
I mean, if you can ask them in a way that you don't think makes it obvious that you have elves, it might be a good idea to get some information out of them before you go to this port. Keep in mind that the ship that you're facing, it's almost certainly a trade vessel. It is smaller than half your size in terms of tonnage.
Here's a thought. We could ask them about general opinions of the humanoid races, since we're humans and we don't know if we're gonna run into any difficulties and everything.
What if we asked if there's any races that are outlawed that we should be aware of? And are they active in the sphere?
They sort of told us to keep away from the, what were they called?
Fomorian.
Yeah.
What I think it's best to just ask about the general opinion of the humanoid races in the sphere.
You might want to be a little bit more specific, are there any human, elven, dwarven, or gnomish ports or something like that?
Yeah, that's good. Ask about that.
Okay, I'll ask that.
Okay. The kobold will kind of give you an odd look and say, no, we haven't seen, other than a few humans here and there, we haven't seen many of those for quite a while. There are the Darrow that are related to dwarves, but I don't think that the dwarves would take too kindly to such comments.
Okay, but thank you for the information. I think we will go to the port now.
And thank you for the information about the crashed vessel. We'll see if there is anything to salvage.
Okay.
Tell them good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck to you as well.
So, it would appear that we've been transported to a crystal sphere we don't know of.
And is not exactly all that nice to a decent chunk of our party.
Yeah, what do you think I ran and hidden the elves in our party? It's like my instinct. It's like goblinoid sphere.
Yeah, we may need to get out in the Flodston and see if we can search for something else, but
we might want to go to that port and see if we can buy any star charts to figure out where, to figure out if there's any spheres we know of that might be nearby.
I think the first thing we do is find somewhere safe to regain our defensive capabilities.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get those
Did,
elven things. They're in a
Did
different
the-
sphere now.
Yeah.
Did the kobold tell us how long it would take to get to that port?
Yeah, let me double check. I think he said about a day. Yeah, he indicated that it's about a day's travel from where you are.
Right. We've got to do some hull repairs unless we get someone else to repair our ship, which I'm not sure we want to do.
Well, I can try
No.
to fix our ship a bit tomorrow after I've regained my spells.
Yeah. Leva, you know your spells for talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Do they only work within the same crystal sphere?
Not that I'm aware of. How do you mean that?
Well, we've got allies.
Oh,
Perhaps you could get a message about those elven weapons that we lost near Chislev to a friendly person. We need someone to go
Yeah,
looking.
that sounds like a good idea.
Isn't it the
moment.
same sphere?
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Probably. If it says no interplanar or inter.
Oh,
sending. Just a second.
Is this old basically the asteroid that is under us that we are seeing on the map?
So the thing
Okay.
is like now that you've your eyes have adjusted a little bit more, what you're coming to realize is that you're inside a gigantic cave. A
Oh,
cave
Second
large
head,
enough that your vessels can fly around easily in. That obviously you can travel from one place to another in a day within the cave.
right.
Yes, it's
And
called a tecton.
the lights, your heart, unless you get close to one of them, you're not sure what it is. But like that would explain the darkness, the lack of sunlight and stuff like that.
guess
Oh,
that,
just-
yeah, our best bet is to follow the directions we were given, since we don't know where we are or how to get out.
Or
Sending.
what time?
Sending has a base. If the creature in question is not on the same plane of the existence as the spellcaster, there's a base 5% chance that the sending does not arrive. 5% is not very high, but does it get higher
For
if
every
it's not
jump.
the same time? Local conditions on other planes may worsen this chance considerably at the option of the DM.
You can memorize
I-
multiple.
I think we should give it a shot.
Well, we
Yeah.
have to wait until tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, you definitely can try to send to another sphere with sending.
Should we send it to the Octane Arcade then, since
Well, it's
they're
here nor there at the moment.
Yeah, you can
No,
wait.
Well-
you can
when
you
we
can
do
wait.
it.
Right. But you can wait until you actually get the spell memorized to decide.
Yeah.
At this point, since we now know that we are inside a massive cave, Solas asks Glau if he's ever heard of such a thing before.
He's heard of unusual spheres that that are either solid crystal with bubbles or nested crystal spheres, things of that nature. He can't recall specifically one that is like this, but he's heard of some similar types of things with massive amounts of earth or stone inside, things like that.
Okay.
I guess.
Mostly why I asked is if it might have helped Glau to recognize where we are.
Glau does not recognize where you are, no. So you should be able to see my arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the direction that you want to go.
Yeah. Okay, and what
Yes.
sort of scale is our ship? Is it? I'm taking it we're a lot smaller than that.
Yeah, I've set up the. If you use the ruler, and see the squares, I've set them up as time. That's the amount of time it takes to get from place to place.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess we'll head towards that port while people do shifts and stuff.
Yeah, so they indicated that it would be about a day.
And let's go do it.
I mean,
Uh,
you're also welcome to just fly around and do anything else that you want in here. It's up to you.
Well, this is the only real clue we've got, so I feel like it's our best bet. We don't even know how to get out of this cave.
I think
Well,
we.
at
I
least-
think we can go near to the port and hang around outside it if we wanted to.
I think a good idea would be us to go near the port and maybe get off onto the shuttle. Let some of us get onto the shuttle and fly down and figure out what we can. Because the biggest thing we need right now is information. And to
You
get
know-
that information, we need to
Yeah.
get like a star chart or anything we can about the sphere to figure
Yeah.
out what's going on and how we get out. Because right now we have nothing but where this port is, and that we're in a cave.
Yeah. So when we go away from the edge of the cave, does the air envelope ends? Does it?
Yeah, you're outside of the air envelope when you met the kobolds.
Right.
If we ask some of our crew, does any of them speak any of the goblinoid language?
Nope, they don't.
Alright,
I think
worth a try.
I think we'd have more chance checking with our NPC officers.
Let's see. Glau might. Let me check what languages he knows.
North Eric is a seeker. He might have learned some languages.
He does not know anything that you think would help here.
Bissell?
What about Numerial? She was in the Elven Navy.
She does not either.
Yeah, that's how we're using
Well,
magic.
Glau's only other language that might be relevant here is Orcish,
That would help.
Orcish. That will
But
be.
he's also an owl.
but he's also an owl.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fine. He's a space owl.
They
not
more
bad.
likely see him as food than anything else.
I don't think so. He's a space owl.
Yeah,
Also,
that's our
if he's-
view.
Also, if he's escorted by us, I doubt they will.
Yeah, well,
They
Sun
would have
Fayun
to
knows
basically attack.
Ogrish.
He knows Ogrish. That's useful.
that might be useful here.
Right. Do any of you spellcasters have spells that allow you to learn another language?
Temporarily.
Temporarily, yes.
Very short duration.
That would work though. That would be something.
Might be worth. But far be it from me to tell you what to.
Yeah,
What
it's a
spells
given.
cast?
I'll
Yeah,
take it.
don't worry about it too much.
All right, so
You've
you're
also got
expecting
healing to do.
you're expecting about a day's travel. So you'll have time to get your 8 hours worth of spell memorization in on the next day before you get to the port.
Right. Braxon turns to Finn and says, I suppose those healing spells you were holding back just in case, it might be worth using them before you go to sleep on someone. What are the crew like? Do any of them need healing?
They'll generally heal enough over the coming days and weeks to not need healing spells if you want to make sure that your PCs are topped up and the major NPCs are topped up because they all got injured too.
Yeah.
The only thing that crew needs are spells that can restore broken bones.
Right,
terms of
and that's a
magic.
different sort of spell.
Yeah.
How many of them do we need to memorize between all the casters? There's 3 of us.
It's you could just kind of like take it on a couple day basis. They're all, you can start with the serious injuries, and then like some things, like broken fingers and stuff like that, it's gonna affect their work, but not tremendously. And you can set them, and they'll heal naturally over time.
I mean, I can memorize a couple for a while.
I would say that for the next few days, if you take, at the level that is, if you take nothing but that, you'll be able to get all of your, all the major things like broken legs and broken arms taken care of.
What's everyone think? Is it worth us going to this port slowly so that we can get healing done before we get there?
Yeah.
Yes,
Not arrive
Yeah,
with the
Yes.
probably.
very
Yes.
much so. Hmm.
Especially that
Yep.
we have to put it on the table that we've got no chance of getting that cargo barge back.
Yeah. So
It's whether or not Leva can communicate. So time is no longer an issue.
yeah.
So yeah, I would just advise caution, basically. Give the casters time to memorize and prepare for this, because we've also got injuries. I mean, I would actually even go as far as to say it's waste 2 days before going in.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I'm all for taking as much time as we need to get all the crew healed that we can. These injuries that have happened to our new elven friend, do they give us any opportunities to set broken bones properly?
You'd need to like basically re-break his bones and set them if you wanted to do.
Right.
If you wanted to use the magic that you have
Alright.
available to yourselves right now.
Yeah. No, I just meant, did he break anything?
He didn't break anything. But
Yes.
he's
Oh, right.
seriously injured.
Yeah.
Because he took more damage. But he got knocked down to 2 hit points is what happened.
Yeah,
you healed him
we
some
don't want-
before, and he got knocked
So,
back down to really low.
Solas does offer to the elven officer after we've treated all the crew members that if he wants, we could break those bones again and set them right and use this.
No, he does not.
I mean, we can
Like, and there's
alleviate
no
the pain.
there's no guarantee that'll even work properly. Like, to make sure that those injuries are restored, he needs like restoration, regeneration spells.
Why restoration?
Restoration takes care of some of the scarring.
So, yeah.
I don't suppose any of you lot can learn that.
Yeah,
Um,
no, we don't have access to the highest level priest magic. No,
Right, so I guess
reincarnating.
I guess you lot need to find out as well if you can communicate with your deities here.
Yeah, here no. I can almost guarantee mine wouldn't be able to.
I'll be able to communicate with Pitar, of course, but Pitar doesn't grant me any spells.
But I'm not sure if he would grant spells in this sphere.
Not if he's not venerated, yeah.
Pitar? Oh, Pitar's venerated everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he would be venerated amongst the goblinoids.
Well,
They don't know who Batar is.
He did create it.
This is again Braxon
Yeah.
just being of the opinion that every deity is actually Ptah.
Yeah, I
Oh, no,
suppose.
but Pitar did create them.
All right, so if like how long do you want to wait before you get to that port? You want to go a day and play it by ear, or what? Like, you could either wait around here, or you could go a little bit further out, or something like that.
I'm thinking we could go closer to the port, so that we're heading in that direction. And
If they've
see...
got any kind of guard or military, they're going to inspect.
That's true. Well, do you want to do it here first?
Ideally, heal and recover here, travel, get another lot of spells for incognito mode.
Okay.
I do think it is worth wasting a day here to get everyone back up.
Okay.
Okay. What Braxton's going to do is he's going to make
And it allows you to get repairs done. So
Yeah,
Well-
Braxton.
wow, you know.
Braxon's going to find the people that aren't injured, or the ones that are least injured, or the ones that can be healed the most easily, and start getting some people ready to make repairs.
Okay, so remember you can only spend 8 hours, up to 8 hours memorizing spells, but you can do that. To confirm, yes, you do not have access to your deities. None of you do.
It's no different for me from one on Space.
So need to memorize and cast contact home power.
Oh,
Yes.
I just realised I also can't even memorize Faraday's Footloose because my contact home power ran out.
And I don't think,
So
and no one else has had
There's
one
up.
active.
Don't you have a shrine?
But also keep in mind that
Yeah, I suppose.
you would have needed to, like, they would have needed to have that memorized and cast it before resting.
Mhm.
Right.
And when you come
So
to a
is
new sphere, you have to cast it again.
Yeah.
So basically only second and first level spells at the moment for clerics.
Yeah, basically, I'm going to take more or less all healing spells.
Here's a question for you all.
Mhm.
I saw something once, and I can't remember if it was 2nd edition or 3rd edition, about if your intelligence isn't high enough, you don't lose spell slots, but you can only use them for lower level spells. So
No, it's
if
not. It's not
some-
second edition.
would it's not a 2nd edition thing,
No.
so you wouldn't let them use the big slots
No.
for more healing
That's the
spells.
spell point system, isn't it?
That's
No, it's not spell.
That's I'm
It
pretty
was-
sure is a 3rd edition thing.
Yeah, that's 3rd edition.
Fair enough.
I mean, there's definitely house rules like that in that some people have used in 2nd edition, but I don't do anything like that.
Fair enough. No, I just thought I'd check. So people aren't allowed to prepare spells, prepare a contact, home power, and cast it, and then prepare the rest.
Correct.
So it's 2 days to get everything.
Are we resting? Because I'm going to start changing my spells.
Yeah.
I am taking a whole roster of temporary healing potions. Probably, well, actually, no, bar
mean,
one.
Yeah,
contact
yeah,
home power.
yeah. You need to do that. So
Contact
given
home power?
given that you might want to spend another day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. For
Before
Ockar,
resting, Finn is going to cast his 2 spells.
real fast, Ockar, I don't believe you get access to contact home power, but you don't need those for 1st and 2nd level spells anyway. So
Yeah, I'm
Thanks,
still
man.
fine.
yeah.
I will also memorize detect powers, actually. 2nd level, so I will have contact home power and detect powers.
All right, Finn,
Please.
you wanted to cast your spells. Who did you want to cast them on?
1 on myself and 1 on whoever's the most injured looking.
Is it that elf? And you say he was down to 2 hit points.
Yeah, Linnaeus is pretty bad.
Alright. Actually, if he's that bad, I'll cast both on him.
Okay.
Oh, does he speak any other languages?
That's kind of you.
No, he doesn't.
I wonder how the crew is feeling about us getting stranded Goblinoid lands.
They're worried.
Terrified.
They're worried. Like the GIF don't care that much. All right, so 11 more.
Yeah, they can just punt them.
Well, also they're
Intimidating.
they don't particularly have anything against them as groups.
Unless your name is Hegemus.
Yeah, Higamus did, but I mean, GIF as a group don't. The dwarves are, having heard that there's goblins and hobgoblins around, they're like, well, I guess we got to do some fighting, kind of thing. Your crew's the standard crew is the most worried. Nemariel is definitely worried. Linnaeus seems pretty stoic about it. Nor is just bewildered. Sun Fiona's like, oh, I wonder what their religions are like.
Yeah.
And Glau is basically all his time is spent up on deck, gazing out and asking rhetorical questions about what the sphere is like.
Should we brief the crew on what we know?
You probably should, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll also brief them on our current plan, which is figure out as much as we can about our current situation and try to escape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Braxon will say, it would appear that a lot of the people here don't speak languages we speak. He'll turn to the dwarves and say, we may be in a situation where it would be advantageous to allow people to think that you're Durgar rather than good dwarves. And the same goes for humans. It may be advantageous if people think we're mercenaries or pirates or something like that.
Humans mix amongst almost all races.
Yeah. Let's not.
It's
let's
me
not-
and Levalithana.
One of your dwarves will speak up and say, that might work, but if they've ever met Durga before, they're not going to mistake us for them.
Fair enough. We might need to have people in cloaks or something.
And I heard
mean-
mention of Darrow.
Darrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it
No
be-
one's
would it
going to
be-
mistake us for those twisted. He says something in he is basically utters like a dwarven word that means like degenerate filth kind of thing.
Yeah.
You might want to keep that to yourself if you want to keep your head on your shoulders.
I think
Around
it's
here.
best for the dwarves basically work inside.
Yeah.
Well, we may have to adjust under
If you
certain.
got helmets with face coverings, helps.
Yeah.
You couldn't make
Alright, we
up
can
like
stay
a
on the ship
knockoff.
and try to keep out of sight, but
Yeah. We'll play it by ear because we may need different groups to stay undercover at different times. Our plan is to find information for getting out of this sphere and then getting out of the sphere. I don't know if we're going to travel to another sphere that we know, but if we find a way out to another sphere that we don't know, we'll try the same thing there. We should be able to get home at some point. If we go from sphere to sphere, we should be able to get somewhere more pleasant if we go from sphere to sphere.
And we have to make sure that our prisoners stay under guard. They might try to see this as a good opportunity to try to escape.
As good
Well-
as any.
This may change the situation with the prisoners. We were going to deliver them to the elves for justice. I don't know that we can deliver them to anyone here. So we'll have to
You need
think
more
about-
permanent holdings.
Well, we may want to have a think about if there's something we want to do with them. Do we want to issue justice ourselves? Do we want to execute them? Do we want to maroon them somewhere?
No,
Not in this sphere.
Solas would not accept executing the prisoners ourselves.
Right.
Well,
That might
there's
have
no
been-
one to hand them on to, and we're having to expend resources guarding them.
Yes, but that's necessary expenditure.
Yeah, I don't exactly want to waste my magic that I can't even use myself properly. Well, I would get justice, but it's just as likely to not work. Just thinking of gating them to like Asgard or somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you could do something like that, it gets rid of them.
Yeah, plus I got to learn how the spell works. Old said I couldn't learn how the spell works, or something. I need
I
more
think-
research.
you basically need something to, if I remember correctly, you need something to target where the gate is opening, kind of thing.
That's for plane shift. I don't know about gate.
I think you'd still need something for Gate 2. I'll go back and look at it.
I think if we're in a situation where our safety is reliant on people not knowing exactly who we are, it's not good for us to have enemies aboard who, if they get out, will try to ally with any hostile people and turn them against us.
I think it's here nor there that they'll just want to get away.
Well, we could land back on that surface somewhere and just leave them.
Do you, Finn or Solas, do you know any spells that would keep them effectively frozen for a long duration? Basically, I'm asking you, do you know the suspended animation?
You've got that softwood scroll.
I mean, I know the spell.
You know the spell. You know the spell,
Yeah.
softwood.
Yeah.
You could just chuck them all into Wildspace.
Yeah. It's not exactly justice.
Well,
Yeah, so Solas would not accept any.
I'm sorry. It's a situation of we have no elves to take them to, and we're in a hostile situation. So
possibly
That's
hostile
why I'm
situation. We
saying
don't know if
to-
we are hostile situation yet or no.
That's why I'm
These
asking.
kobolds
If
seem to be quite friendly.
that's only because
Yeah.
they didn't see the elves.
Yes, and we disguise elves.
And
Oh.
you're also part elf.
Well, yeah, I disguise my ears.
More than your hair, it's your features.
So, what's your issue with putting softwood on them and throwing them into Wildspace? It's not killing them. Do you think that's not harsh enough?
I mean, they'll
It's
just apply it and ponder, and if they hold a grudge, they'll find a way to come back to us.
Right. So
I
we
don't
can
want
execute.
I don't want them to be able to get back out there and cause more trouble, but I also don't want to just execute them. I want them to face justice for what they did.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm like, can we just like use the suspended animation spell? But I don't know if you have the spell component for it, which is like a rare herb that must be prepared.
I think I
1d3 time.
think there's a possibility that we may be the only force of justice in this sphere. We have a representative from the Elven Navy. What was his name again? Leredon.
Lenelius.
Lenelius. Lenelius, do you have any authority for court martials and other sort of things?
Field court martial.
I am not the captain of the ship, but the captains of ships always have a right to hold judgment on those they under their command. I don't know that would be acceptable to you, but that is the closest thing I can think of.
I guess it may fall onto me then. Right, have a think about it, folks. Ockar, if you can communicate with your deity, you can seek guidance.
I'll try to pray to him, but I don't think he has a stake in this world. He may not hear my prayers.
Fair enough, yeah.
Same with mine. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think what Braxon might be getting at, for those of you who have qualms about any particular thing, is thinking about what would satisfy your desire for justice. What could happen? Like, who else? If you can't find elves, who else would you consider acceptable to administering justice? That kind of thing. Like, it doesn't have to be right now. I mean, it's
yeah.
It's not a decision that needs to be made right now, but as you get more information about the sphere, you may or may not encounter races that you would consider acceptable to administering justice.
Braxon says to Ockar, I think the bottom line is there is no justice. There's just us. And justice may be something that we have to dispense. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to hand these folks over to the elves. But I think it may be down to us to make the hard decision.
Didn't we have a guess on the scroll? The wizard spell guess. Didn't we find that recently? Because you could put that on them. If it works. No, because it's no saving throw.
Would that go on all of them?
Well, one creature.
One creature. Yeah, so...
One of them could be restrained from fleeing, or do not, the equivalent of do not escape until justice has been served. If he tries to escape it, he'll go sick and die because he's trying to escape out it.
I'm afraid that we're in a situation in this hostile seeming sphere that we're in, where these people being on our ship are a threat to our crew, and we have a duty to our crew, and we had a duty to get these to justice, and it would appear that we are the only justice that we know of. I mean, it's possible that we can get through this port, but every port we go to, there's going to be a risk that these people can escape. And we don't even know if that person that was chanting got pulled off by the storm or if they're still with us. So there's possibly still a chance that they could get the others free. Are there any spells you can use to wipe out someone's personality or something like that that would destroy the evilness in them without killing them? If you have some means like this... Well, that's what I'm saying.
Memory.
If you have some means like this for getting the evilness out of them, if we can drop them somewhere and abandon them, I'm happy to do that. But I think we're now in a situation... It's making me nervous, these dice rolling. We're now in a situation where they are a threat to our crew if we try to be clandestine about going into ports.
What if we made them fall in love with us?
If you think
they
that
wouldn't harm us because they're enamored with us, or at least with me.
What are you going to do? Sing Barry White songs to them?
No, I've got a potion.
What?
Potion I've been holding on for a long time. I got 3 of them. We got 3 prisoners.
How many prisoners do we actually have?
3.
No.
Salithia, Sard, and Njord himself. So again, like you definitely have at a minimum to next session to consider some of these things.
That is not a terrible idea.
And
it's not a terrible idea to have like evil pirates that are all in love with Lafdul.
Lafdul's not done anything again to harm them, so.
Yeah, but that wouldn't stop them being evil, would it?
No.
We just have a load of evil murderers.
I would just try to... I follow a patron of change. I would try to change them.
I mean, redemption might not be out of the question if it's possible.
Ockar, what sort of authority do you have as a paladin?
Any kind of authority. My authority is mainly to mete out the cause of my god, but I don't have any actual authority except in situations involving my church.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm an actual knight or lord or anything.
You try to champion good causes, though, don't you?
Yeah.
And I don't exactly see just branding these people out here as a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
Well, stranding them wouldn't kill them. Executing them would kill them.
This is the kind of thing where I'm actually slightly more on the side of the love potion idea, but I feel like I need to take a moment and consult with my god and figure this out.
You
Yeah.
can't actually communicate with.
I can
No.
make prayers.
Yeah, like but in character it would be like some
You
nights of
can't ask-
prayer to consider based on his
Yeah.
teachings and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
keep in mind
Yeah,
that's
that's
when most priests are talking about consulting with their deity. That's what they're talking about. They're praying for nights, pondering the question that is presented to them, and going over the teachings of their deity and figuring out how to solve that question through the teachings of their deity, as opposed to, hey, yo, Tyr, what do I do here? And Tyr says, you do this. That's it's usually the former.
And that's exactly. Ockar needs some time to sit down and think about this and figure out what he feels would be best in line with his god and his own beliefs.
Well,
Yeah, same for Solas.
do have a think about it. I think we have a number of different options. I would be quite happy for them to get the death penalty, and I will be quite happy to do that myself if necessary.
And a character,
If-
and a character, this whole getting stranded in another sphere, not being able to get the bounty on these guys is really throwing us even further into debt.
We can keep the heads.
That would
Lafdul can talk to the heads.
that would give
We-
That's
certain
not
kind of
sure.
reputation, and we can't
I'm
keep the heads if we
I'm
are
sorry.
stranding them.
If we execute them, we have a legitimate reason for keeping the heads, which is there's a bounty on them, and then Lafdul can chat to the heads.
No, I'm
Do
not
we
going
have-
to chat
do
for
we have a
no
way to
reason to.
preserve those heads.
Put them in a bucket of water somewhere.
We've got several barrels of alcoholic drinks. If
Brian.
if we have barrels that are at least head sized,
We don't have
We
that
could-
many barrels
Oh.
of alcoholic drinks since we
Dwarves are
gave
gonna
up
hate
the
you
alcohol away.
forever.
we've
Hey,
got. Don't we have 2 tons of barrels of beer?
You
You know,
gave you gave that
we
to
gave
the
alcohol away.
Yeah.
Oh, we gave that away.
Yeah,
Right.
because majority voted that way.
Lafdul, you had a
Okay,
question?
fine.
No, it's just a random anecdote. It's like, it reminds me of your Yakuza thing. You did your fish head
Oh God.
sake.
Oh, just the idea of that is disgusting. All right. So again, the big thing is like you've got time. You know, at a minimum, you've got till next session, and that's at a minimum. You know, it might be other session. You know, depending on what you do and what you learn about the sphere, it may be more sessions. It might also be worth thinking. You know, like an independent port that has a legal authority over pirates and is willing to accept your testimony that they're pirates and then pass judgment on that, you know, would that qualify? Then you just need to, you know, if you encounter a port like that, then that might qualify, you know. But that's up to you, you know. And if you want to talk to me off stream about, you know, how it all works out and stuff like that, that's perfectly fine as well.
Yeah. Do you have the information for the detect powers up or not? Or are you just going to leave it to next week? Or are you just going to...
Yeah, I'm fine with getting the first day's casting of spells taken care of. For those of you who just get the first and second level, if you want to handle
all of
that.
us?
Yeah.
I
Well,
will
priest.
also use one of my mage spells to cast mending on the ship.
What level are you?
I'm 8th level.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a D100. You're looking for getting below 80%.
That's cool.
Okay. 1 hull point is repaired.
Yay!
Week's worth of work there.
Yeah.
Right.
And material savings.
I'll add that on. So we're on 67 now.
Okay.
67 of 70.
How much XP?
I haven't done XP yet. So, Lafdul, you're casting Detect Powers.
And contact home power, because I am assuming.
You
I want to have-
definitely need to. All of you definitely
Yeah.
need to cast Contact Home Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn's
Yeah.
gonna cast it as well.
So
You might get one for a neutral deity, wouldn't you?
It's not just neutral deities. It would have to be essentially a neutral druidic deity.
with similar
And
spheres.
considering
Wait,
that
do
you're
we
underground.
carry pickles?
What?
Do we carry pickles? We can put the heads of the pirates in pickle brine.
Oh god.
Sounds like Ockar's up for
No.
chopping
No,
heads
no,
off.
no. I was just joking.
You intend to eat them, right?
No.
So
Leva
How
has a
Solas,
question for Finn. Leva has a question for Finn. Totally unrelated. She's the Finn. If you can have these time things, can you figure out how old someone is?
I can.
Because Leva would like to know. Because she doesn't. She thinks she's as old as she tells people she is, but she doesn't actually know whether she's right or not.
Well, let me have a rest and I'll get a spell to do that with.
Thank you. That would be nice.
Okay. So Detect Powers detects if your powers are accessible. So, Lafdul, this would only reveal if something related
Yeah,
to
mine.
yours. Is anyone else casting Detect Powers?
no, Solas doubts very much that the Fomorians worship Celtic deities. Or suitable deity enough.
All right, Finn.
Then I'll just contact home power.
Okay. Lafdul. No, neither your deity nor any elven deity is accessible here, nor is any Sealy Court deity.
Hmm. Yeah. Makes sense. We're pretty much outcasts, yeah.
Braxon should have talked to those kobolds in Tinkerno.
That might have gotten you killed.
That, of course, assumes that they even recognize the language.
Because don't gnomes and kobolds like hate each other?
But again,
Yeah,
like, they might not recognize the language.
It's a good thing we don't have any gnomes in our party.
Oh, but hobgoblins hate elves,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
goblins hate dwarves. So, all right. So, you got contact
Does
home
that mean
powers
that
for
orcs
everyone.
hate humans?
I'm sorry.
Does that mean that orcs hate humans? Going by that logical?
Everyone hates humans.
Or-
Everyone also tolerates humans.
I mean, orcs kind of hate everyone. All right. So, you got contact home powers, detect powers. Any other spells that you're casting that you need me to do anything
I
with?
memorized
A huge bunch of healing spells.
6 Cure Light Wounds, because, well, it's all I can really memorize. I mean, I could memorize higher level spells using my shrine, but I don't want to.
What was that roll for?
That was misclick.
Okay. What I'll say is, since you need to spend a second day, or since you're planning to spend a second day, I'll say that you guys can just fully heal up yourselves and the major NPCs with this and some for the next day.
So Solas would recommend staying one more day since repair injury is third level spell.
Well, that's what I mean, is that you're going to need one more
Yeah.
day to get stuff from Contact Home Power.
Level stuff.
Yeah.
Finn's gonna have to watch one of you cast that as well.
Cast
Oh,
what?
repair injury?
Yes.
It's a
I
common
think
spell.
you just have access to it. I don't think I...
It's a
Okay.
spell.
Yeah.
Tome and magic.
Is it?
No, it's in Spells and Magic.
Is it? Oh, I know
Yeah.
it was in one of them.
Yeah, it's spells and magic book.
Yeah, so you just have access to that. You don't need to learn it from someone
okay.
else.
I take it you wouldn't consider taking suspended animation, and or you wouldn't have the ingredients for it.
I probably wouldn't have the ingredients.
You would
It's
not,
more
but
the
if you want to make a
Solas.
point of looking for them, if you go to any ports, you can do so.
You got Mage access to Necromancer. It's 4th level Necromancy. I don't know if it's another sphere.
That's probably not.
I know Solas has access to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something
Yeah.
he could do.
I only have minor.
And it could effectively take someone out for a week.
I mean, you do have the. Oh, did you want to try feeding the tea again?
Yeah, we can give him another dose of tea, see what happens.
Okay.
I like Finn more and more. He keeps poisoning people.
It's not poison.
It's Lafdul's interpretation.
Okay.
It's a natural sleep aid.
Exactly. That just helps you to sleep like the dead for many days.
Yeah, that's what the Drow call it too.
All right. That actually does put both Sard and Red Njord out. So that's 2d4.
I think it was, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see here. Herbal magic. Deathmark. Yes, 2d4 days.
I'm starting to feel like that thing that sucked us up with more of a wormhole than it was a storm.
I mean,
could
Cosmic
execute
Storms is...
Oh,
There's stories about Cosmic Storm basically dumping you somewhere else.
can me and Solas get a split between the remains of the ash, the soot from the bandage? I mean, I can literally make that scroll. No,
You know,
if it is valid.
Yeah, you can do that.
if you
I
could
mean,
put the
can I take the Solas or not? Because I can make the scrolls.
Well, if you can start making the scrolls, you can use
I mean, I need you to make me some paper, though.
Yeah,
Some
that's
high
not a
quality
problem.
paper. I mean, it's
Hey,
just a
I
single
make the
sheet.
best quality paper.
Well, if it goes badly, I might end up turning myself to stone or something.
Okay. So we'll pick it up next week as you guys have your second day after your contact home powers and that memorization. And if you're thinking about making that scroll, keep in mind that you're going to need to wait until after you're done training with your short sword.
So
And-
does this technically mean that the Frenzy Horde quest is postponed until we figure out what we're doing?
You have defeated Njord and stuff like that, so there is still going to be XP when you resolve the justice for him, but you're getting the XP for finishing the adventure because you are finished the adventure. And that is going to be a 50,000 XP for everyone.
Wow!
50,000.
Are we getting that now?
Yep.
Let's chop his head off. We don't need it.
People are going to level up off
No.
that, surely. You get another 50,000 Ockar. Is that not temptation enough?
No,
You only
we don't
lose a
just
level.
go and chopping heads of prisoners.
It's not. Well, it's not just randomly chopping their heads off.
Oh, why
It
did I
is,
use a calculator for dividing 50,000?
Leva is now level 11.
Wow.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah, I'll probably.
still
level
5th level
stats.
spells, though.
Oh,
You need another level for 6th, I think.
So that is one more hit point for Leva.
No, she doesn't get the 1d4 anymore.
Don't exaggerate. 1 hit point.
Hey, when you're a wizard, 1 hit point is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 23 instead of 22.
Your saving throws improve.
Okay. To what?
Okay, paralyzation, poison, death magic goes to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Rod, staff, wand goes to 7.
Wow.
Petrification, polymorph goes to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Breath weapon goes to 11. And spell goes to 8.
Not bad.
I also go up a level.
For
Woohoo.
which?
Cleric.
Okay. So that is going to be what level?
It's going to make me 8th level cleric.
Okay, 8. Thaco doesn't change. Saving throws don't change.
He gets a weapon proficiency.
Are you going to roll for the
And
hit
he
points or take
He
it?
can use more 3rd and 4th level spells, which he can't really use right now.
Well, he's getting them right before resting for after casting Contact Home Power. So
Yeah.
True.
I like what Tom Brown said about Lever's hit points in the chat.
let her
should
roll.
have
Let her roll D1 for hit points.
let her roll a D1.
The
I
odds
could
are
do
in your
that.
favor.
Yeah. That's fine. It's up to you.
Let's just do this. Yeah. I want to roll.
All right, that's fine. And Solas, you can also roll for your hit points.
Oh, look, you got one.
Oh, and it's
Yes.
red too. It's not even. Oh my lord! Way to go, there, Solas.
Oh, jeez. You've been getting so lucky with hit points.
That's 4 hit points.
Yep.
Solas, yeah.
Anyone else gaining a level?
Nope.
Finn
I
is.
wish.
Oh, Finn. Finn is gaining a level.
Whoa.
You're also 8th.
Nice.
Finn was also Finn was already really close.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, see, they've probably overtaken me now.
you're also 8th level, right?
Yes.
Okay, so no changes to Thaco or saving throws. Go ahead and roll for hit points. Not bad.
That's good.
I'll take that.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
good
it's
roll.
better than you could have taken without rolling.
Yes. All right.
It's good to level up.
I'll double check
I'm
proficiencies and stuff like that.
They get a
with you guys
weapon.
after.
That's all they get, because that's what I got.
Okay.
I'm not that far away from leveling up again with my mage also.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
my thief is surprisingly close as well.
if you've been using weapons that you don't have proficiency in, you can just take the proficiency. If you don't have any weapons that you've been using that you don't have proficiency in, then it is something that you'll have to train for.
How much hit points do you need for Solas to level up?
What?
Hit points?
Sorry, how much XP do you need for Solas to level up as a wizard?
I need, let's see, 6,030.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, if it helps, we can sentence our 3 prisoners to death by fireball.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Doesn't
Oh,
work
does-
that way. Doesn't work that way.
Does
You've
Do,
already gotten the XP for defeating them.
does Numerio and Nor go up a level?
Not really, because they haven't really been
Aw.
adventuring. Like, that's the thing is.
Numerio saved our lives. She got XP for that, surely.
Oh, I'll think about it. I mean, remember, it is more money if they go up levels. So.
Yeah, but it means they can also cast fireballs if they learn it.
Well, yeah, but they're on the helm all the time anyway.
Eh.
It's
That's
Sun
awesome.
Fayun who's not on the helm that much.
Oh,
Yeah,
he can...
Simfire might level up if we take him with us. We took him
Well,
to
we
that.
will if he knows Ogre.
We took him to
Ogre.
that. We took him to the Spelljammer port on New Itari.
I need another, like, 130,000 XP, I think, to get to level 10.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
While Braxon needs 70,000.
Yeah, that sort of amount. Braxton's on 43,000, so he needs about 770,000.
This is bad. Leva can learn so many new spells, and she's using her 8 hours to just learn the spells that she used up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No time for more spells.
all day practically memorizing.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
the problem
and that's
when you
that's
him.
one of the things about, like, if you're in a position where you've got a fight and you're pretty sure there's going to be more stuff coming, you do not want to, like, expend everything that you got on that fight, because even if the fight's going to be tomorrow, you're not going to have time to rest and regain those spells. Like, you might be able to get a couple, like, magic missiles and stuff like that, but so that is something that you're definitely getting to that point now where you need to keep that in mind of I'm I need to be wary about what I'm using because I may not be able to get them back for the next fight.
Mhm.
So,
My
um,
new hit point total is 51.
nice.
Yeah, you got loads.
Yeah, you can stand up to in the front rows with Braxon and
Yeah.
Ockar.
Nope.
Yeah, come on, Solas.
Yeah.
You're a
Wait,
cleric.
how much does he have?
51.
51.
Oh yeah,
got
you could be a
45.
frontline character now.
Nope.
Here,
Solas is definitely going to stay back behind.
We could
Just
use
wa-
some. We could get you some good braces of armor. Give you a good quarterstaff. You could join in the melee.
He's got both of them. He's got a magical quarterstaff and a
That's true.
braces.
Solas is not a good melee fighter since he most likely will miss because he's a bad Thaco and a bad hit bonus from
Oh,
strength.
you just need Tensor's transformation. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that's true.
I will be on the.
Don't you have cleric Thaco?
He
yeah,
does.
but I have a minus from strength.
Oh, what is your strength like? 8 or
It'll
6?
be fine. It'll
You
be
could memorize.
fine.
You could memorize a strength spell.
Can
So
we make Solas some armor from books?
Solus could technically
wow,
armor,
that sounds
but he
that
can't
sounds
use
like
it.
something he'd be really angry about. All right,
Oh,
so
something
for
Lafdul needs to do.
next week, you guys can change up your spells. Keep in mind that you'll have a maximum of 8 hours. Think about like if you want to spend more time here, that's something to consider. You might want to discuss that, and you don't necessarily need to discuss it amongst yourselves, but for the individuals who have qualms about how to handle the prisoners, you might want to think of scenarios that you would be okay with. You know, like other groups that you could hand them over to, other situations where you could get something that you would consider justice, that sort of thing. And feel free to talk to me about that as well.
My opinion is that if Finn has managed to put 2 of them to sleep, that now is an excellent opportunity when we could execute them and it wouldn't hurt them because they're unconscious.
What's with you and executing
Isn't
people
that like a
lately?
neutral evil thing?
When did you become
No.
so bloodthirsty?
They're murderers. They're mass
Yeah,
murderers.
but,
They've murdered loads of people. We came
They can
out
defend
to take.
themselves.
Yeah, but
We
they
came out
are
to take
currently
justice.
our prisoners.
They willingly
So-
surrendered.
So we
yes,
kill
they willingly
them.
surrendered.
We kill them or we maroon them. We need to get rid of them.
Not
Oh.
necessarily.
They're also not
if
they're also not a threat until the tea wears off.
That's true. That's
You've
true.
got at least
Yeah.
a couple of
And
those.
they're also not consuming food. They're not consuming water, and they're consuming like 1/20th the amount of air they would normally.
And
Yeah.
and if there's enough spell ingredients to be found, I can put them in suspended animation, and they will be out for 2 weeks per casting.
Right.
So we are not in a rush to execute them or maroon them. We can do that decision if there's
Why prolong their
reason why to do
What-
it.
why prolong their suffering?
Well, they're not
Because
suffering right now.
justice.
All right, so
Well,
that's
Well,
that's. Go ahead.
What if we quickly find a way back?
Yeah, if we quickly find a way back, that's fine. We can base it on what we find out from this pool.
So yes, you do have that directions to that port. The kobolds did give you some information about other races around. You definitely got the impression that that's not all that there is around. So
Yeah.
stuff like that, and definitely start thinking about ways that you might want to get, that might help you get home. Like questions that you might ask, people types of people you might want to seek out, that sort of thing. But for now,
what?
Yeah.
Just a question, since we are awaiting the days and we were talking about the sending. Does it succeed?
Come up with a wording, but
Let's do the sending next session.
Anyway, Leva hasn't even memorized yet, so how would
Well,
you?
there you go.
You can't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll address that next session if Leva memorizes that. All right.
Okay.
I want to thank you guys for playing. We'll be back next week. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. I hope you had a good time. And
Excellent game.
we'll see if the party can find their way home.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the game. Thanks for everyone watching. Thanks for the bits.
I just skate myself to the afterlife.
See you next
I mean-
time, everyone.
That